Right. Is that recording? Okay. Welcome back to the podcast. I haven't done an episode since August because I have been hugely burnt out and needed a break from everything. I was just doing way too much. So much coaching, so much podcasting, so much blogging, so much everything, plus my full-time job and life. And I was like, workshops, all of it. And I was just like, I hit burnout massively and just needed to take a huge break because I was just like, whoa, I can't even think clearly. Like, my body was going to be having a breakdown if I didn't take a chill pill. So I've had a massive break, and then now that I've had a break, I can't seem to get my podcast back up and running. This is probably like the 4th episode that I've just gone to record, and I feel like I've gone right back to before I started it. You know, where you want to start something, but you feel like you're not really sure, and you have a go, but you're too scared to press publish. That's how I feel. And I'm like, wow, I'm being a massive perfectionist and I just need to get a grip and just put it out there, because in the grand scheme of things, my podcast is not that big of a deal in the world and no one cares that much. So just record and send. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think I really enjoy the podcasts that are just free flowing, and today I'm going to talk about believing in yourself, because it's something that since working with people and since going on my own journey, I'm like, people need to hear this more about believing in yourself and how much of a difference it makes to your life when you do. So, because we see quotes, there's so many positive quotes, and one of them is like, believe in yourself, believe, achieve, believe in yourself, you know. But it's like, yeah, you see the quote and you think, yes, like, give it a like, and it gives you like a little dopamine hit. But actually, do you actually believe in yourself? Do you know how to believe in yourself? Because online, we might all be showing that we're like super confident and we believe in ourselves and all the rest of it. But in day-to-day life, every single day, all of us, because we're all human, all of us have this thing of struggling to believe in ourselves. We hold ourselves back. We don't put ourselves out there. We don't have the confidence to go for what we want to go for. And it starts to see. The problem is that I'm recording myself in the camera. That's the issue. This is a new thing for me, the video as well. And I think that's why I get lost in thought, because normally I'm like looking over there, I'm chatting away in my own mind, but I'm trying to look at the camera. So if this episode is like a load of rubbish, then I apologise. I've just got to get my skills back up. So yeah, but you see in everyday life all the time, the people are holding themselves back, and I'm just like, my first episode back is going to be all about believing in yourself, because the thing is, believing in yourself is not something that you can just do overnight. Let's be honest, you know, I have coached people on their self-esteem. I've been on my own journey, and it doesn't happen overnight. Believing in yourself is part of your self-worth journey, isn't it? If you think about it. You've got to not care what other people think. You've got to be brave, and you've got to just do things to show yourself that you are capable of the things that you want to do and achieve in life. So I'm going to go through like some of the things that I think you need to be aware of if you want to start believing in yourself, and hopefully that'll help you to realize like it's doable, but also you do have to give yourself a little bit of time, and there are things that you have to do. But to actually believe in yourself, like once you start believing in yourself, it's the best feeling. And honestly, like going on a self-worth journey and like taking steps to improve the confidence that you've got in yourself and the belief that yourself, like to back yourself in what you're saying and what you're doing, like is second to none. It's probably the best feeling that you can have for yourself, and it will set you up in life like daily, because you will just be who you want to be, and you'll just be yourself. You will give less fucks, and you'll just come at life with a strong, mentally strong like viewpoint. So once you've done the self-worth journey and you've done some steps, and you've like stop worrying about what other people are doing, stop comparing yourself to other people, stop giving a shit about people that you follow on social media and letting that put you down. And once you start like actually accepting yourself and realize that, okay, so this is where I am today, I'm accepting that this is where I am and I've got a way to go, but I'm going to commit to I'm going to commit to doing the things that I need to do to get me to where I want to be, which is over there. Like, once you start focusing on you, and once you start just giving less fucks about other people, and just think, right, just put your phone away and focus on yourself, like, you'll start seeing change, and you'll start seeing a difference, and you'll start just being yourself. And like, life does not have to be what we see on social media, what we think other people suggest we need to be. Like, for example, I don't have a car and I cycle everywhere, and that is not really, doesn't really fit with society, does it? Like, you know, everyone's got flashy cars, everyone's got, you know, drives around and stuff all done up in the flashy cars and things. But I'm like, do you know what? This is my life, and this is how I want to live my life. And actually, I love cycling. Like, I'm actually going to try and cycle into town in this outfit. I don't know if you can see my skirt. And hopefully when I get there, I'm going to look still as nice, which is not going to be likely. I'm probably going to have look like a bit of a drag through a hedge backwards kind of vibe with the wind. But there we go. This is my choice, and this is what I want to do. And I don't even care. I don't even care what I look like when I get there. I'm just going with it. You know, but like years ago, I wouldn't have the confidence. This is going to sound really silly, but I wouldn't have the confidence to cycle into town in a dressy outfit with waterproof stuff on over the top, strip off and go out. Like, I wouldn't have had the confidence to cycle to work as my mode of transport, because I would be that bothered of what people thought of me. So I just wouldn't have the confidence to do that and look like a bit of a nerd, because I'm telling you now, I am not like a sexy cyclist. Like, I have got safety glasses on, a big massive whatever those things, snood, hat. I've got so many layers on because I just can't be doing with being cold. And loads of people in work say that they've seen me cycle and stuff, and I know I look stupid, or I probably don't look stupid, I just, you know, it's not that glam. But like years ago, I would never have done that. I would never have done that because I was so bothered about what other people think. Whereas now I'm like, well, I've got like £600 more in my bank, and I'm being healthy because I'm cycling to work and back every day and into town. It's good for my mental health. Like, there's so many things why it's good for me, and I'm like, so yeah, I'm way happy with this life. Like, last night, went to the pub to see the girls. We went for food. It was a 14-mile cycle to the pub, and I was like, you know, could have got a lift off them. And I was like, I'm going to cycle. So I cycled there, had 2 glasses of wine, had a gorgeous meal with the girls. And then they were like, I'm taking you home. Put your bike in the back of my car. I didn't fit. But I was like, no, it's fine. I'm going to cycle. Like, this is the life that I want. Like, you know, and it is a bit different. But I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I cycled all the way home. And I was like, right, cycled back 40 miles, had the biggest sleep, shattered when I got back. My legs are absolutely aching. But I'm like, but yeah, this is me and this is what I want to do. And I feel good for it. They were taking the piss out of me, laughing their heads off because I've got all my safety things on. I've got my little torches, got my flashy lights, like bloody me neon lights on my bike, and they were laughing their heads off at me. But I'm like, I'm not even bothered because I love it. Like, you've just got to do you. And like, honestly, some of this, like, who I am today is all because I have worked on self-acceptance, learned that this is who I am, and just decided to like step into that and like get the confidence to be myself. And a lot of that is by putting yourself out there and feeling uncomfortable and being okay with having all eyes on you and speaking up and saying what you think and standing by what you think and having your opinions and being decisive and not being a people pleaser. Like, there's so much to it. But like, it's such a good feeling. So that's what's kind of inspired me to do this podcast episode, because it is a great feeling. Like, I just think everybody deserves to get up in the morning, wear what they want, dress how they want, be who they want to be, go into public places, not care what other people think about them, not care what other people, and feel comfortable in speaking up, saying the things that are on their mind, being vulnerable in front of people that they trust, and doing the things that they want to do, like the cycling. That's a little bit geeky, but that's who I am, and I love that. And I wonder how many people don't try things because they're bothered about what other people think. Like, that is an actual thing. Some of us are all bothered about being cool and stuff, but actually, like, I love the geekiness of life. Like, I am a massive nerd, I do know this, but I love it, and everybody else should as well. So like, some of the things that I think you should do, and some of the things that I think you need to be aware of when you're believing in yourself, is like, one of them is just an awareness that it takes time. So like, it takes time to do this. You're not going to read a quote that says believe in yourself and then all of a sudden it's like, sound, I believe in myself, and you're just going to walk around like Beyonce, you know. Like, that's not how it works. It takes time. It takes time of, like, it's really hard to explain, but it takes time of investing in yourself, basically. So if you don't feel confident, if you think you feel anxious, if you hold yourself back and doubt yourself, and you know what? I know most of the people that listen to the podcast are women. It's like 80% are women. Love the women. And like, I also know from the feedback that I get from you and from the people that I've done coaching with, and I've done some free coaching sessions for people on my newsletter, like, I also know that a lot of women are holding themselves back, and a lot of women are doubting themselves, and they're feeling lonely and really, really lacking in confidence, because like, society has withdrawn. We have withdrawn since COVID. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time indoors. It's not healthy. We are a community. We're living our lives online, and face to face is the best thing ever. And that's where you're going to grow your confidence, by being outside. But it takes time. So it takes, when I say like investing in yourself, it's about like, so as I'm saying this, you know that you hold yourself back, or you know that you doubt yourself a little bit, that is a sign to you that maybe you want to do a little bit of work on yourself, like, and ask yourself the questions. What do I need to do to feel better about myself? Like, it could be in general that you doubt yourself in all aspects of your life, work, relationships, family, or it could be in specific areas like just work. A lot of people, when I speak to them, it's about work. Like, work is a big part of our lives, and it's a big part of our life where we doubt ourselves, because there's like rules to work, isn't there? And there's like, you're working with other people's personalities, agendas, insecurities. So when you're in work, You'll be working around people who might not like the way that you deal with things, and they're in a position of power, so they may make you feel like you can't be yourself, or or you might be around people who are, I don't know, quite judgy and have an opinion of what you're doing and how you're dealing with things. And you might be in a situation in work where you've got to do a presentation, and you're met with quite a lot of resistance and difficult characters. Like, that is work, and you've got to have confidence in yourself to succeed in work, in a sense of like, to not feel anxious every day and to not stress out a lot of the time. And you've got to have confidence to be good at your job. Like, confidence is a skill that you can learn, and it's part of your self-esteem journey. But a lot of the areas where, when I've worked with people, it's about work, because you can't choose who you spend your time with in work. You can't choose what your job is in work, or what people are telling you to do as part of your job. So you're being put into uncomfortable positions that you don't want to be put into, which can make you feel vulnerable and anxious and low in confidence. And also, you could, if you've got like a strong inner critic, or if you don't believe in yourself and you've got low self-worth, then when people are sort of sending you emails or speaking to you, you will have a narrative in your head that says that you're not good enough. So you will see everything through a filter of you're not good enough. So when people are speaking to you, what you'll see will not necessarily be how they've actually said it. It's just you might be a bit paranoid and will interpret things in the wrong way. It happens all the time. It's completely normal, and you have to give yourself a little bit of a check sometimes and think, is this actually how it's being put across, or am I just reading that the wrong way because I have strong negative talk going on? So if you think that you hold yourself back, going back to what I said, you want to be saying to yourself, what can I do to improve this for me? Like, a lot of the things on your confidence and believing in yourself journey will come from asking yourself the right questions. So if you don't believe in yourself, when I'm saying this and it's ringing true to you, you want to ask yourself, what can I do to make myself believe myself a little bit more? What are the things that I need to, and what are the areas where this impacts me the most? And it might be work. And if it is in general, like, I don't want people listening to this going, oh my God, this is like a lot to take in. It's more like, because if I go from my own experience, it was every aspect of my life. So when I say it could be all aspects of your life, I'm going off my experience. It was everything. I didn't believe myself in everything. I had the lowest self-worth. I was in a really awful place with myself. I had a really, really bad relationship with myself, and that played out in every aspect of my life. It was work, because I was overworking, I was a people pleaser, and I was highly irrational and very reactive. In my home life, in relationships, I was a very jealous girlfriend, and I was very moody, massive stress head, not very nice to my loved ones. And then finances, couldn't save a penny if I tried, constantly in my overdraft, loved to spend money, still do. And then relationships, I was very self-centered, didn't really think or care about other people in a nice way. Like, I was just really self-centered, just loved to party, loved to drink, and that was me. And then also with myself, I would bully myself every single day, call myself ugly, and self-sabotage everything. And I had the worst relationship with food, that I would just binge and binge and binge all the time, and then I would feel horrible. So when I say all aspects of your life, like, I am just going with the flow, so I've not written this down. There's probably more areas, but that's what I mean, all aspects of your life. And if you are like that, and if that rings true to you and you're thinking, I'm probably, don't believe in myself and I've got low self-worth in all aspects of my life, like, I'm here to tell you that you can get past it, but it takes time. But you can 100% get past the feeling of not feeling good in yourself in all aspects of your life, because I've done it, and I am nothing like everything that I've just said to you in those areas of life. I am the complete opposite. I'm not a stress head. I'm absolutely full of love for all my loved ones. My boyfriend, honestly, he's seen the change, so he can appreciate who I was before, but I am the best girlfriend to Lou. He is beautiful and I love him to death. My family, work, I'm not irrational, I'm not emotional, I'm focused, and that has completely changed, and I've got boundaries. Food is a work in progress. I will say it's a work in progress, but that's a work in progress. And spending money is much better, but I still love to spend money. So, I'm not perfect in any way, shape or form. But overall, I believe in myself and I feel confident in who I am. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. And I feel good about that. And that's a great feeling. So it is doable. But I guess we need to take the pressure off. So I am doing a podcast episode soon about, has wellbeing culture gone too far? And I'm going to ask a couple of people or somebody to come on and have that chat with me rather than me just talking about it, because it's really good to get other people's thoughts on this. I'm going to do quite a good episode for that one. But there is a lot of pressure on well-being and confidence and feeling good and looking good and having high self-esteem and believing in yourself. But please know it's normal. You're never going to be up here all the time, because life is up and down and we have to ride the roller coaster of life. Some days I'm okay, I'm doubting myself a little bit, but then I know that I can just be fuck that, do it, just go and do it and stop worrying about it and get on with it. But the podcast episodes, like I've said to you at the start of this, I've recorded some and not posted them because I'm because I'm still not believing in myself. So it is up and down. There's no just you're a number 0 to 10. I'm a 9 in believing in myself, because then you've got all the different aspects of your life. You might be a 9 in work and a 5 in your relationships, or a 2 in money. So there's so many variables, and day to day you can feel different because of all the variables in our emotions and thoughts and the food impact, and whether we've had sleep and how we feel today. It's just constant, and all of that brings loads of pressure in how we feel and how we should feel, and we've got to feel perfect and we've got to feel really good. And it's no, whoa, take that pressure right off, because you are absolutely fine as you are. If you've got a bit of work to do and you don't believe in yourself, that's fine. But don't set yourself this huge mountain plan of what you've got to do to feel good about yourself, because it's going to do the total opposite of supporting you. It's going to make you feel like a failure, and it's going to make you feel like you're not good enough, and it's going to reinforce that feeling that you've already got. So you don't want to have all these goals and steps. Trust me. Yes, goal setting is good, but you do not need a long list of goals that you are constantly working for. Because if you've got low self-esteem or you don't believe in yourself, first of all, you could, if you don't believe in yourself, you might struggle to do those things anyway. And second of all, it's almost like a punishment. If you're not good enough and you're constantly feeling like you've got to work, it's just reinforcing that punishment of lacking that self-worth. You're not good enough, so do more. And I see it all the time. I have had that with The Girl You Need. That is why I had huge burnout, and I had to drop everything, and I had to reflect and think, what is actually going on here? Why am I actually working this hard? Because one, is this what I want? And two, what's driving me to work this hard? And on reflection, it was that old habit of not feeling good enough. And it was like old behaviours of just keep working. And I just got completely lost with what I was actually doing. And that's why I had to have a massive break. So you don't want all that pressure. You just want to accept that you are where you are. You just want to be accepting of, I probably don't believe in myself as much. And that's okay. And going back to what I said before, it's about accepting, like, what area do I not believe in myself, and what could I do to start to change that? So, because I might be coming across as really waffling, because my brain just works that way. So, and this will probably be a surprise, but what I've actually said in all of this chat so far is the first thing about believing in yourself is it takes time. So number one, it takes time. So you don't need to worry about all this pressure of, if you don't believe in yourself now, then you're a failure. You just need to, number two, accept where you are right now, today. Ask yourself, if any of this is ringing true, what area does this impact you, and what could you start to do to change that? So that's number two. And number three was self-acceptance, but it's kind of like what I've already said. I think I've already said that. So self-acceptance is huge, because that is about not worrying what other people are doing, not worrying what society tells you that you need to do, or what you need to look like. You know, some of this pressure of believing in yourself could be about your looks, which is another area that bothered me. And it could be, definitely is for women, about believing in what you look like and feeling confident in your body, in your face, in your skin, in your bloody wrinkles, in your hair, in your shape. Everything to do with a woman gets criticised. And because of that, we are not past that point in society where women are not being told by little tiny subtle messages through media that we are not good enough because we don't look a certain way. That shit is damaging, and that makes you not believe in yourself. And if that is the area that you struggle with, self-acceptance is huge. Self-acceptance, I used to tell myself I was ugly every day, and that I used to look like a boy with no makeup on. You would not see me leaving the house. If you paid me 200 quid, I wouldn't leave the house for 200 quid, no makeup on. It was a big thing for me. Now, I get up in the morning, roll out of bed, brush my teeth, throw some clothes on, and cycle to work with no makeup on, looking like a scruff. It doesn't bother me. But I used to say I was ugly all the time. I used to be really embarrassed of how pale my skin was, because in my head you had to be tanned to be gorgeous. So I used to feel like a boy with no tan on. And I used to be really embarrassed of my hair, my red hair. God, I love my hair now. But I used to be really embarrassed of my red hair and think it was like not attractive. So if you don't believe in yourself because of what you look like, I completely get it. But self-acceptance is your answer to that. You have to, and I've done an episode, I think it's episode number 3, about body image in the mind. You've got to accept yourself, because no matter Botox, filler, whatever we do, and makeup, hair dye, nails, listen, enhance yourself. You know, you do that if that makes you feel good in the society that we live in today, which is really, really frigging hard as a female to live in, then do it. I'm all for whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good, and I don't judge anyone for that. But you've also got to accept yourself, because if you don't accept yourself, when do you stop having to do the enhancements? Do you know what I mean? Like, I had to just accept that I have got red hair, I am pale, and my face is my face. And now I look at myself and I think I'm actually not that bad. You know, and the thing about your mind is the your mind, the acceptance with your mind, is you need to read a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. He's a plastic surgeon, and he basically gives the point that people have plastic surgery and then they're still not happy with the result. They still have the insecurity that they had before because the damage is in the mind. It's not in the actual feature itself. It's your mind's image of your body. It's not actually what your body looks like. Whoa, that's deep. I know, it's deep stuff in it, but it's like so true. And that just goes to show how powerful the mind is. Like if you, and you know when people talk about affirmations, like I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous, I'm gorgeous. Some of that shit, like I never did the affirmations because I was like, if you don't believe it, then you're not going to, what's the point in saying that? You just feel like an idiot. So I never did it. But now that I've got that foundation of confidence, if I'm having an off day, I'll just go, no, you're not, you're gorgeous. And then it works and I feel good. So they do work, but it just goes to show how powerful the mind can be, that it can trick you to seeing something in the mirror that is not there, that other people don't see. Like, think about people that are anorexic. What they see is not reality. That is how powerful the mind is. That is the brain. It is complex. So self-acceptance is huge, and it is about like, this is what I look like. This is who I am. You know, if I've got anxiety, this is how I feel. Or if I am shit at presentations, this is where I'm at. What's the point in pretending? What's the point in pretending? Because it's being vulnerable, it's hard to do. And we think other people are going to think we're stupid or laugh at us. Like, for me to get good at speaking in meetings, I had to get over the fact that I am very nervous when I speak in meetings, and I am brain fog, like a deer in headlights. Mind goes blank, forget me words halfway through, talk all around the houses, don't even answer the question, just stressed out my brain. And I just had to keep going and keep going and keep going. And the more I've done this, more I've focused on myself and invested in myself, the easier it's all become. And now it just doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't faze me. And honestly, like, I did a talk the other day and I was talking about this, and I was like, oh my God, I've been doing, like, I don't remember the last time I had palpitations before I was speaking in a meeting. I don't remember the last time I got nervous. Like, that's a bloody good place to be. And I know that I have finally gotten to that place through sheer like investment and time in myself, and just like treat myself with a little bit of compassion. Because you're not perfect and you don't have to be, and you will get there. Like, so many times I thought to myself, oh my God, am I always just going to be this anxious individual? Am I always going to be someone who just really struggles with speaking up? But the answer is no, because you will get there. You will get there. As I said, it takes time. It takes self-acceptance. And it just takes a bit of work. Like, so the next one I'm going to talk about is being brave. But before I talk about that, I keep saying investing in yourself. What do I mean by investing in yourself? I mean by the best way to sort of know where you need to go. I mean, you could work with a coach, because what a coach does is they will pull out what you're saying and figure out a bit of structure and give you guidance and help you figure out what you need to do. Because when you're in your own head and when you're journaling or you're thinking, it's really hard to see the wood through the trees. Like, it's really hard to be like, I don't know what to do. Like, if you're someone who, like me, didn't believe in myself in all areas of my life, it's like, where do you start? And there's so much content online, and there's so much out there with books, podcasts, you know, there's just so much. You can be really overwhelmed by it all. So if you're someone who needs structure and needs that like step-by-step process, it could be that you want to do a course. Just be mindful of what course you're doing, and you're not just doing any old fluff, you know, or a coach who gives you that bit of structure, like a program of the steps on what to do. if you want a bit of structure, or just start, like, there's so many self-help books out there. If you go on the website girlyouneed.co.uk, I've got a whole book review section. That's a great place to start on your books. Just start reading or listening to audios. And if you struggle to read, that's a skill as well. So you might not be able to focus because our brains are struggling to focus these days. So that's a skill that you need to learn on your journey, or listen to audiobooks. Bloody Spotify has audiobooks for premium subscribe members now. So I've got a whole range of books on my Spotify. It's class. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. I don't even have to pay for them. It's class. Very, very clever, Spotify. I am very impressed. You are owning shit. So there's that. So you could get a coach or do a course, or you just start by reading, listening to podcasts, maybe not looking at like reels and stuff online and short form content. You need some long form shit. You need some long form content that you're going to learn stuff. You need to learn. It's a journey, and you need to invest in yourself, and you need to learn things that you've not learned. And the reason why you need to learn them, because if you knew them now, then you wouldn't be feeling how you're feeling, because you'd understand that your emotions and your thoughts are things that you can choose to have. The mood that you've got, or the thoughts that you're having, you need to learn how to choose those and not just live in an automatic negative cycle of self-critical behaviours and thoughts. But that sort of is educating yourself, because it's doable, and it's about knowing what to do. I mean, people that have listened to this podcast probably know, because everything I've learned, I've just thrown out on a podcast. So you've probably got quite a lot from the podcast about all of this. And I keep thinking, oh, shall I do a course? But I don't know, not right now, because I've just had burnout. So I'm not putting the pressure on myself. But yeah, so that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying investing in yourself, like learning the steps. And then the next one, it falls on perfectly nicely, is about being brave. So we've talked about taking time, we've talked about self-acceptance, we've talked about investing in yourself, and now we're going to talk about being brave, because believing in yourself is about being brave. You have to be brave in order to believe in yourself. You've got to do stuff. You've got to show yourself and build up the evidence that you have what it takes to be confident. Like, you've got to be brave. Say, going back to my example, which I talk about all the time, me speaking up in meetings. For me to believe in myself in work, I have to get good at speaking up in meetings and articulate myself well, and showing that I know what I'm talking about, and you can trust in what I'm saying, and having that confidence in myself. But that takes, not even meetings, just for me to be confident in work, for you to be confident in work, for you to believe in yourself. That's what we're talking about. For you to believe in yourself in work, you've got to be brave. So here's some examples of being brave. Sending out an email that you haven't deliberated over for 20 minutes for it to read perfectly, and not worrying about the backlash. Not saying please in every single sentence on an email. Not saying sorry to bother you, hope that's okay, apologies for my delay in reply, or that's more like around being more assertive, because also the language that you use, the way you put yourself across, this all links to how you believe in yourself. Because when you put yourself across more assertively, people respond to you in the same way. And when people respond to you in that way, you feel more confident. And when you've got respect for yourself and you set boundaries, say for example, someone wanted to meet with you, and they wanted to meet with you, they knocked on your door, you're in the middle of something, and they say, I need to meet with you about this. And you're like, yeah, no problem, knowing full well that you've got a deadline, that you've got to meet in 2 hours. And if you have a chat with them now, then that's going to put more stress on you. It's about you saying, I'm just in the middle of something right now. I've got a busy day for the rest of the day. Can you come back tomorrow? I've got 10 o'clock. Come back tomorrow at 10 and we'll have a meeting then. It's like having those boundaries. And when you set those boundaries and give yourself that respect, other people will give you that respect as well. So that's like how you put yourself across and how you treat yourself and the response that you get back. That will give you confidence in believing in yourself. But it's that is brave. It's actually brave to do. If you're someone who struggles with that, if you're a people pleaser, if you're someone who needs to be liked and doesn't like to upset anyone and feels like you're so bothered about what other people think to the point where you just don't want to say no, that is a challenge for you. That is a challenge in itself. For you to be able to confidently sit there and say, I'm really sorry, I'm in the middle of something, you're going to have to come back. Or for you to send assertive emails and you're not used to doing that, that is being brave. That is a challenge. That is something that you're not used to, and that is something that you're going to have to do to start believing in yourself. And it's not as hard as you think. Once you start doing it, you'll realise this is not a big deal. It's just doing the first steps. Like, I've had a couple of clients who, and that's why sometimes people work with coaches, because it's that like support person to be like, come on, you can do it, just do it. And then they can download to me afterwards and they're like, oh my God, I did it. And I'm like, amazing, how did it feel? Do it again, keep going, don't stop doing that. But also like being brave in, you know, having the confidence to make a decision in work, or put yourself out there, put yourself forward for a project, put yourself forward to chair a meeting, put yourself forward for something as a lead for your team with a certain scheme or something that you're doing in work. It, you know, being brave is speaking up in meetings, putting your hand up and giving your opinion and backing yourself and feeling confident in what you're saying. This is what I mean about being brave, you know. So you know it's gonna, and this is kind of like the evidence that I've said about it taking time, because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to see a quote that says believe in yourself and all of a sudden you're going to go to work the next day and be like boss babe, bloody speaking up in every meeting, smashing your goals, putting yourself forward for stuff, getting promotions left, right and centre. Like, that's just not how it works, isn't it? You've got to do the work. And that's what I mean about it taking time. Accepting where you are, you're not where you want to be, investing in yourself, journaling, what are the areas that you need to work on, how can you do that? And if it's in work, it could be, I'm going to start putting my hands up in meetings and speaking up. And yeah, it's scary, and that's why it's called being brave, because it's something that you're going to have to do. And it comes with being vulnerable. Let me tell you now though, honestly, the way you come across is not how people see you. The way you come across is not actually how you come across. Like, you feel nervous and all the rest of it. Like, sometimes, yeah, you might come across as nervous. That's absolutely fine. It's fine. No one remembers, and people aren't that bothered. And you know what? Good for you for putting yourself out there and building up your confidence, because you won't always be nervous. That's the thing. Like, people might think, oh, she's a bit nervous, isn't she? But like, and they might think you're quite a nervous person and shy. But as time goes on and you speak up and you start putting yourself forward for things, you won't be nervous anymore. That's just a fact. That is just like, that's just science. You know, that's experience, that's confidence, that's building up your skill of believing in yourself and having the confidence. So don't worry what people think, because they won't think it forever, because you won't be like that forever, ever. But you have got to be brave. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to take the steps. Otherwise, you're never going to believe in yourself, because you haven't got the evidence that you deserve to believe in yourself. So once you start doing this, putting yourself out there, and you're nervous and stuff, you have to give yourself a lot of compassion and give yourself credit that you're being brave and you're putting yourself out there. And you have to know that this is a long-term goal. But once you, like, if you journal, like, use a thought record, it's on the website. If you journal about situations after they've happened to tease out the positives and not let your inner critic take over with telling you all the negatives, and not let your inner critic take over with reminding you of all the things why it went wrong. Because if you've got low self-worth, your inner critic is leading your life. And it'll be, as I said before, you'll be looking at life through a filter, and you'll be looking at life with a negative, self-critical view. So everything you do, you'll just focus on the negatives. So go on the website, get the thought record, do this after every situation. This is how you're going to build your confidence, and it'll help you to reframe and understand, actually, there are some positives in this, and actually, I don't need to have those thoughts. I don't need to have those negative thoughts that I'm having. Because when I used to want to speak up in meetings, I'd be really nervous. I'd think I wasn't worthy of people's time. All this stuff was going on in my brain. And then you'd use a thought record, and then you'd realise, actually, people want me there. I've been invited. It's my job. They need me there because I'm the one that's got the answer to the question. So it's fine. But I get that it's really hard to shift your focus from you and in your own head, being nervous, feeling anxious, to outside of your head, where it's like you've got a job to do and people need the answers. So forget about you. No one cares about you, and just do your job. That's quite a big shift to do if you're not used to doing that. And most of us do live in our own head. Like, a lot of us are constantly thoughts, and that's absolutely fine. But once you start believing in yourself, and you have, the good thing is, especially if you use a thought record, once you start believing in yourself and you have those little thoughts, you'll soon be like, do you know what, actually, no, don't need that thought. It's not helpful. Thanks very much, brain. Let it pass, and you'll just carry on talking. So sometimes, like, I might be, say I'm doing a podcast episode, and I'll have a little thought that's like, you're talking rubbish, no one cares about you. I'll be like, accept the thought, move on, and just keep talking, because I'm here to do a podcast episode, and that's my goal, and that's what I want to do. And I stay focused. And that is what happens when you start believing in yourself. That's what I said before about, you've got that foundation, so you can't really be like shaken. Like, when you've got really low self-esteem and low self-worth, you're like a paper bag, and anything can just knock you over, and anything can you just collapse. Whereas once you've built up and you've got that self-belief, you're strong. You're made of then you're made of straw. Then, this is my stupid analogy that I'm about to make up. Then you're made of wood. Then you're made of bricks. Like, you get stronger and stronger in your core. I love that analogy. I actually love that. You get stronger and stronger in your core, and you're less shaky, so things don't knock you as much. So you've got more resilience, you believe in yourself more, and you go and achieve the things that you deserve to achieve. Like, you feel good, and that is what people should feel like. That's what life's about. Honestly, working on your self-esteem is like the biggest thing to do. It's the best thing to do, because you deserve to believe in yourself. Everybody deserves to believe in themselves. Women should not doubt themselves. And, you know, when you're in like a really busy place and you think all eyes are on you, you deserve to be like, take a deep breath and think, this is me. So I don't care. Like, if you've got low self-esteem, probably you think there's something on my face. Oh my God, my hair looks a mess. Oh my God, my teeth. Oh my God, my skin. Take a deep breath and think, no one gives a shit. This is me. And if there's anything up with you, what you look like, who cares? Just be yourself. Stand up tall, get your head up, get your shoulders back, big smile, look confident, feel confident, because this is who you are. And life's too freaking short to be walking around a shell of yourself. And women should be feeling confident. Women should be able to walk around and look around and feel good in themselves. Like, and you know, hopefully, like, we are getting better at other women not supporting other women. We smile at each other more, we're nicer, we're friendlier. There's none of this like resting bitch face going on, unless that's, you know, that does still happen sometimes. But like, you know, gone are the days when we see each other as a competition. We should be seeing each other as a support network. So if you've got people in work, stop having judgments about other people. You don't know what's going on with other people, not necessarily even just work. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. People portray what they want to portray. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. And once you believe in yourself, you lead with love. So you accept other people more as well, and you don't judge them. You're not jealous of them. You don't feel like they're a threat. You don't feel comparison, and you don't like feel a lot of like negativity and anger and jealousy towards them, because you've got love. So when people are being arsey, if someone's arsey with me, I'm thinking to myself, what's going on for you? What's going on for you? Because no one wants to be arsey. Nobody wants to be arsey. People are just trying to deal with things. And sometimes when you're being arsey, something else is, well, not sometimes, every time. If you're being arsey, something else is going on. Might just be that you're tired. Or it might be that you're feeling insecure. So you're being arsey with someone because you're feeling threatened. This is just what life is like. But when you believe in yourself, you see it for what it is with other people. So when people are arsey with you, you don't really care as much anymore, because you're like, I'm not bothered. That's for you to deal with. Or you can support them more and be like, what's going on for you, if there's someone that you care about. And you just go and do you, and you just keep doing you, keep building your confidence. And the more you get to this point when you've got like a bricks of foundation, you achieve more and more and more. And you're like, oh my God, this is insane. People can just, no, do one. Just keep doing you, keep putting yourself out there, and go and believe in yourself. And you do you. And do you know what? I really, really enjoyed doing this episode. This was class. Yes, I've missed doing it, and look what a break does for you. I've absolutely needed a break. I needed a break, and I've got no pressure on things now. I am just, I've got a full-time job, which I love. So the Girl You Need is a creative outlet for me, where I just share things that I've read, give some inspirational talks for women, and write some blog articles, and that's that. I still do coaching, but I'm not advertising it as much now. I just love inspirational talking. That's what I love. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know if you did. I'm now off to meet my girlfriend, looking all glam, on my bike into town. Hopefully it doesn't rain, because then I'll get wet, and then I definitely won't look like this when I get there. To go around the Christmas markets and have some nice food. Yes. So have a fabulous day wherever you are. Hope you love the episode, and I will see you soon. Bye.